Yeah, this is a part two to my original video. My sound was really just too low in that first video. So sorry about that. I know you guys probably couldn't hear a word of what I was saying hardly. Hold on. Clean this camera off real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah, man. Sorry for the sound quality in that first video. I didn't realize my volume was so low. I wish I had a dedicated sidekick that could sit in my live streams to kind of give me the cue on the sound quality. I haven't rebuilt up that relationship with my audience, so I apologize about that. But yeah, essentially, in a nutshell, we were just discussing just how complicated and challenging it is for African Americans just to relax on vacation in a lot of these environments that are dominated by white identity extremists. Essentially, there's such a disconnect, man, in our country where it's rolling dice, man, and just to have a good time in a lot of these recreational national park areas. And I feel like as a humanity, we're losing like that decency, that human decency of just allowing others to just enjoy their time, relaxing our attitudes, our prejudices, and beliefs against other people, or whatever negativity we hold against other people, kind of, shelving that for a vacation and just resting. It just feels like how the culture is engineering people. They want you to be vigilant and alert of these prejudices and stereotypes 365. Yeah, my sound quality wasn't good in the first video, so I'm still going to keep it up, but I'm not even sure if the sound quality is good in this video. But I noticed the further I move away from the receiver that the sound wasn't that great. He says, may your YouTube channel grow rapidly, gain many loyal subscribers, and bring you great success. Keep shining and inspiring others. Your content from Cambodia. Oh, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for the positivity. Um, Hu Huitri. Now, I did win the spelling bee in middle school, but that was in middle school. So I'm sorry if I'm butchering if I'm butchering the name. But I appreciate you. God bless you, and I appreciate your positive energy. And again, I apologize if I might offend some of my viewers and subscribers because the content I talk about is very um, geared towards a different crowd, a more mature, experienced sort of ear. So I understand when, and this is why when we have children and adults are talking, we say, the kids have to kind of go to the other room, right? Because we might say something, and for one, it's not appropriate for children, but they wouldn't even understand or comprehend anyway what it is that we're even talking about. So it's like, this is kind of like a grown folks channel for people who have life experience, for people who are a little bit more cultured, who kind of understand, the significance of just humanity and the differences and how that can land on each other. So yeah, I'm out here in Yosemite. He says, now I'm starting a new journey as a content creator at a book center, but I'm shy too much in front of the camera. Can you share with me any tips? Yeah, I would say first, just get used to practicing recording videos outside of YouTube Live. Just kind of turn your camera on your phone or whatever camera you're using and just record yourself talking to the camera first without necessarily doing it on the platform of YouTube. Just kind of record yourself talking, getting used to having a conversation with yourself and about certain topics that you would like to share to the general public is what I would say. And once you get comfortable doing that and go back and watch the video, watch the audio, listen to yourself, how you feel about, certain things that can be adjusted, that can be modified, kind of be like your own coach in a way. After you do that, I would say about, it doesn't really take that long, like 2 to 3 weeks of practicing, you'll know what areas you need to kind of modify and you need to grow in when you're recording a video. I used to do a lot of groups in counseling when I first started off as a therapist. I did a lot of mental health groups, a lot of mental health um, classes. So I got used to doing public speaking just from naturally just being a therapist. And also with my master's program, we had to do a lot of projects and PowerPoints on the psychology of the mind and different disorders and things of that nature. So just my career naturally sort of put me in front of a lot of people. So, but just get used to being your own critic first. You don't have to beat yourself up. You're not going to get it perfect. I'm mindful that perfectionism is a thing. Just do good enough. Get used to communicating in front of the camera, outside of YouTube. Go back, look at your self talk, see certain areas that you can improve. That's what we did as therapists when we would do sessions as trainees and interns. We would, record our sessions, take them back to the class, and we would critique. Of course, we would have like confidentiality waivers and stuff like that filled out. And then we would critique, get criticism. Hey, maybe you weren't affirming the patient enough, Randy. You're kind of sitting there like, you're not doing a lot of reflective listening. I'm like, okay, I got it. Thank you for sharing. I will try. Yeah. And once you start posting yourself live, be prepared for criticism. This is a platform for the general public. So you're going to carry the burden, the responsibility of ethics more than the actual viewer. So your ability to maintain your composure, your maturity. I'm not the model for this at all, but just for a piece of wisdom, don't do what I did, where you're like fighting back at the viewers. You're doing rage videos in response to this imaginary viewer that went off in your comment, and you don't know who they are. So you just got to get that last word. Don't waste your time on that. You're gonna have people who don't like your content, who are going to always have something to say, even though you did your best work. Don't let them pull you out of character, cost you your channel, especially if you're trying to get monetized. The algorithm, quote unquote, is very sensitive to you. It's not as sensitive to the viewer. So you carry the burden of accountability and responsibility. So just be mindful of that. Don't let people, you know, get in the way of your success and your joy. So that's the best. Less is more. I think that should be good. But yeah, so just out here in Yosemite, took some time off from counseling, blocked my schedule off, and just to show you guys a little bit of the view, just took some time to just enjoy the nature, man. Just kind of enjoy being out in the environment. And the psychology research is just looking at green things. If you have high anxiety in my audience, looking at green nature, green trees, green grass actually triggers off this relaxation response in our brain. There's sort of this biochemical exchange that happen environmentally with our nervous system where the anxiety, the fight or flight gets down regulated. Just looking at green things, just looking at, pine trees and different things like that significantly reduces stress. So when you're stressed out, overwhelmed just from life, go out in nature, take a walk. You can get deep and go into some grounding, take your socks off, walk out in the grass, and, just really kind of anchor yourself in nature. One thing about anxiety is it moves really fast, really, really, really fast. So the pace of nature is a lot slower, right? The time it takes to grow a tree, right? The time it takes for all these different beautiful flowers and things to develop, it takes time. So it naturally kind of communicates, slow down when you step into nature too. So just a little bit of advice, but yeah, man. Basically, what I was talking about earlier, which is as an African American in America, it just feels like how the social engineering is set up in America. You have to be on guard 24/7. And the world is young, but young people, when we're young, like in our teens and our 20s, we're so used to dealing with bullshit. when we're kids, where it's just stress for us just rolls off of our backs. You might have some kids who might suffer more than others, but for the most part, most young people don't really bat an eye at a lot of stress that most older people will probably speak to. So it's really difficult to catch it when you're young. You got to have a really mature eye to understand the complexities and the nuance of the social engineering situation we're in America. But I just found myself not even being able to relax at a national park. I'm just like, damn, they're like racing behind you. People are looking at you, pointing at you, looking at you crazy. And I got to get prepared for this. I feel like God is telling me, like, hey, Randy, you think this is bad. Wait till you get to China. You're going to get this times 10. So I get that. I just feel like it's the world. It's the world, guys. Like, and the Bible says that it's a dying, decaying world full of sin, full of the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes. And the older I get and the more I experience the world as I get older, you notice just how decaying and low frequency the world is, where just certain inappropriate rude behaviors has just become normalized in this world. Hey, let's point at this person. Hey, let's make a mockery at this person. you know and the crazy part about it is that when you look at these people on the outside looking in, you would think these people were good, wholesome people. And as you get older, you realize we live in a world of opposites, where a lot of times the people who are the most rude and disrespectful, they look the most innocent. And you got people who look rude as hell and they rude, but a lot of times it'd be people who you think that look like criminals, who look so like they have bad intentions. A lot of times those be the best people to be around. Growing up in Detroit, I had my biases against black people. I wasn't perfect. I was thinking like, man, this nigga look like a thug. Oh shit, it's about to go down. Let me get my shit ready. And they be some of the most kindest, down to earth, and nobody's perfect type of people you want to be around. Some black people, the world will tell you, oh, be cautious for these black people. Oh, dark skin is dangerous, and oh, be careful, they might steal. And you got some black people that got more mannerisms and more sense than people who not black. I put that on everything I love, man. Everything is not what it seems. And this is in a lot of ways what allows a lot of people who don't carry the burden of the heavier stereotypes being people of color. This is where a lot of times they use how they look as leverage. They know to the common man, they look innocent, they look wholesome, they look unassuming, right? You're not going to think, oh, this person's going to rob me or this person's going to commit a crime, right? And that's what fuels in a lot of ways this in their minds. I can keep doing this shit. People aren't going to think I'm bad. People are not going to think I'm a bad guy. They think that about black folks. So I can get away with stealing. I can get away with fucking aggression and being rude and being nasty, because when the world sees me, they think I'm innocent, right? They think so. This looks culture has really damaged in a lot of ways the human psychology. You'll be surprised at what a lot of people think they can get away with because of how innocent they look. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. When you're dealing with human beings, you got to take everything in consideration when you're dealing with people. People can be some tricky, manipulative motherfuckers, man. They really can. So I'm out here trying to enjoy my family, enjoy the trip, and just bad energy left and fucking right, man. Left and right, man. So I'm just like, man, me personally, I got to get better at learning how to just dodge people. Like, I think being a counselor, you get so primed to wanting to be people, oriented and, really thinking about people and caring about people. But, you know, outside of my job, I'm still a fucking human being. All right. So it's like, I got to get better at setting boundaries with motherfuckers, essentially. I got to get better with setting boundaries. So, yeah, man, the social engineering in America, man, is a very challenging thing, man. Very challenging thing, man, to deal with and to overcome. But I just wanted to do another video because my sound on the first video wasn't great. I don't even know how good the sound is on this video, but we're gonna be leaving up out of here. tomorrow. And I'm thinking our next move, man, is going to be hopefully, man, Hawaii, man. Hopefully, Hawaii to get a little bit of a break, man, and some relief from dealing with people. Now I understand why people be making those videos like, I hate people. I hate people. I don't think I've gotten to that stage yet, but I can understand why they would feel that way. I can understand why they would feel that way, man. So yeah, it's hot as hell out here. I feel like it's like at least in the mid 80s. So I'm out here cooking. Hope you